Censorship of public centers, gay agendas, safety, democracy, bulldozers, police, apartheid walls, entire legal and political systems, militaries, crimes against humanity, settlements, gentrification of neighborhoods, prisons. You can buy control over life. That's right. That's right. The elites of our world have bought a colonial and racist politics of policing. They are policing our center. They are policing our city. They are policing our nation. They are policing our life.
issues.
This place houses many controversial issues.
Lesbian and gay parenting.
SM organizing.
SM organizing.
People who take drugs and want to talk to each other.
People who take drugs and want to talk to each other.
Regardless of what they're doing is against the law.
Regardless of what they're doing is against the law.
So it's a sanctuary for social controversy.
So it's a sanctuary for social controversy.
People who need protection.
For people who need protection.
In order to think,
to speak,
and organize,
and organize,
in order to have livable lives,
in order to have livable lives,
pursue social justice,
pursue social justice,
establish solidarity.
and establish solidarity.
So if this place says, can't house any group that's socially controversial,
You can't house any group that's socially controversial.
it's forgotten its history,
It's forgotten its history.
social justice,
It's forgotten its commitment to social justice.
and it's sold out.
And it's sold out.
I stood on the Palestinian side
I stood on the Palestinian side
and observed in horror
and observed in horror
as this guarded wall,
as this guarded wall,
this military apparatus,
this military apparatus,
a technology of division,
a technology of division,
of mobility control,
of mobility control,
of segregation,
of segregation,
of apartheid, forced many Palestinians
forced many Palestinians
to walk on one side
to walk on one side
as a means to allow for
as a means to allow for
the safety of a few Israeli settlers.
the safety of a few Israeli settlers.
I was mortified
I was mortified
and recalled the feelings of terror
and recalled the feelings of terror
and shame
and shame
when our tour guide
when our tour guide
asked armed security
asked armed security
to allow our entrance
to allow our entrance
to the other side.
to the other side.
Terrified
Terrified
because we crossed
because we crossed
a barrier
a barrier
that Palestinians
that Palestinians
could not.
could not.
We urge this center
We urge this center
to keep sight of the roots of oppression,
to keep sight of the roots of oppression,
an economic and political system
an economic and political system
that enriches a few
that enriches a few
at the expense of so many.
at the expense of so many.
To the extent this center
To the extent this center
does not support other communities who are oppressed,
does not support other communities who are oppressed,
its own struggle
its own struggle
is diminished,
is diminished,
and its own liberation incomplete.
and its own liberation incomplete.
A queer Israeli woman
A queer Israeli woman
who I met in Tel Aviv
who I met in Tel Aviv
took me to Levinsky Park
took me to Levinsky Park
in South Tel Aviv,
in South Tel Aviv,
where there are hundreds of poor African immigrants,
where there are hundreds of poor African immigrants,
many of them undocumented,
many of them undocumented,
who are day laborers in Tel Aviv and Israel,
who are day laborers in Tel Aviv and Israel,
and who face constant harassment
and who face constant harassment
by the Tel Aviv police.
by the Tel Aviv police.
Let me tell you,
From
what I heard from my Israeli friends, that Israel is no gay paradise either.
that Israel is no gay paradise either,
Unless you're a gay white man
unless you're a gay white man
with Israeli citizenship
with Israeli citizenship
and a lot of money.
and a lot of money.
Then Tel Aviv might be fun,
Then Tel Aviv might be fun,
but for everyone else, it's really not.
but for everyone else it's really not,
Including the transgender women
including the transgender women
who are constantly harassed
who are constantly harassed
by the Tel Aviv police,
by the Tel Aviv police,
whether they're engaged in sex work or not.
whether
recognize refugees
And Israel does not recognize refugees
who are non-Jewish. So the discourse of pinkwashing that describes Israel as a gay haven for queer Palestinians is completely false. And let me tell you that as a co-founding member of Queen's Pride House, an LGBT Community Center in the borough of Queens, that there's absolutely no contradiction between providing social services and offering a safe space for discussion, including discussion of controversial issues like Palestine, and offering a space for community organizing.
Excluding people
Does
not make people safe. Silencing dissent does not make people safe. For anyone. So let's make people safe. Let's do the hard work of organizing, of letting people meet in buildings, of working for human rights, so that we can all be safe.
From Gaza to the plaza, queers liberate, don't separate. From Gaza to the plaza, queers liberate, don't separate.
From Gaza to the plaza.
Queers liberate, don't separate. From Gaza to the plaza.
Queers liberate, don't separate. From Gaza to the plaza. Queers liberate, don't separate.